The relationship between the quarterback and Nick Saban is one that I'll always remember and cherish. We weren't exactly buddy-buddy, but there was certainly a professional relationship.
He was Nick Saban before he was Nick Saban. Very demanding, but demanding of himself, not just everybody else.
He was like a father figure. He just always kind of gave me the advice, whether I liked it or not.
He just never loses focus. He's one of those guys that is always going to do the same thing over and over again as long as it works.
4 championship quarterbacks, 4 different guys. But Nick Saban certainly has a type.
Well, Nick Saban quarterback is a guy that I think has so much more than just physical ability. Not a lot of us have 5 stars next to our name, or even 4 stars.
You didn't have to throw for 300 yards or 5 touchdowns, but you had to be efficient. For me, as soon as I realized that I had on offense 10 other guys that were probably better athletes than me, we became pretty successful.
People can say game manager or whatever. You got to make plays when they ask you to make plays and put the rest of the guys in the right situation to win the ball game. That's what a quarterback does. That's why he's the leader.
He wants somebody who wants it more than anybody else. Just having a chip on your shoulder, to him, I think it means the world.
Relationships are complicated. For coaches and quarterbacks, public displays of affection are offset by public displays of frustration. But what happens behind the scenes is most important.
As intense as he is, game day, I think he's probably more calm than any other time. He tries to create a practice environment that is almost tougher than a game environment.
There's no shortcuts. You're never going to get a Friday off or 1 hour early. That's just not going to happen.
Certainly there were times over the course of spring and fall where it felt like he might have been helping the defense a little bit more than the offense. I would sit there under center and I'm calling a play. As soon as I make all my adjustments and checks and audibles, he would make sure that the defense knew exactly what we were doing.
I told you what they were going to do! Been working on it all day!
I got to the point where I knew the offense so well. I knew when he changed, I'd just change again, really to piss him off, just so he could get mad at me and, you know, say some things that can't be repeated on camera.
When you start for 3 years, you can probably start doing that a little bit more, but I was a 1-year guy, so I had a little less leeway.
It was kind of the ongoing joke that if at the end of practice, if the offense did well, practice was terrible and we needed to improve in a lot of things. If the defensive kind of won that matchup, we had a great practice.
It always makes me smile when he gets on a quarterback, because I've so been in those shoes.
When I see it happen, I'm like, I know what he's saying right now. He kind of does that, like, and look to the side and then, like, glance back up just to see if you're looking at him. And he'll be like, I mean, we can't do that.
It's amazing how, I mean, he just in a split second, how you can just, what seems like lose his mind, and then right away he gets back to calm and looking at the play and what's going to be next.
The best way to push his buttons is turn the ball over, that's for sure. You start throwing a couple interceptions, that's a good way to get your ass ripped. It's not the greatest feeling.
When I was young, got in Mississippi State, I think we were up by 3 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns, something like that. Hell, I was thinking, I'm getting in with Julio Jones, and they call it pass play. I'm going to throw it to him, regardless. Julio was one-on-one running with the safety, so I just launched it, and we almost caught it for a touchdown. Of course, the over route was wide open. I looked at the sideline, and I can already tell he's pissed at me.
If you think Nick Saban has taken his foot off the gas with his team up 27 points, think again. McCarron, the backup quarterback, getting an earful. Nick Saban up in his grill.
That was probably the most he's ever been pissed.
Probably the biggest lesson I took away from him was just discipline. That if you want to be successful, there's 1,000 excuses that you can make up, but if you have your mind set on something and want to do it, go get it.
To win as much as we won and to play for Coach. It's going to be one of those things like how they talk nowadays that, oh, I was a quarterback for Bear Bryant, and that's awesome to think about.
I don't think I really have fully put into perspective how great he is. He's on the Mount Rushmore of college football, and I'll be able to tell my grandchildren someday I played for the best ever.